Okay, so recently shared says, all right, so today's Congressman Ronny Jackson, Texas 13, introduced the U.S. South Africa Bilateral Relations Review Act of 2025, which would mandate a full review of the bilateral relationship between the United States and South Africa. Hi, this is the African Time. The name is Vedashi. Well, I know I've actually discussed this with you guys on a recent video. You can check out my page though, it is there, where the US are now, the congressman in the US actually shared a bill to the Congress saying that South Africa and then the US bilateral relationship needs to be reopened and discussed again, because he believed that they actually siding with their enemies more. Well, I talk about this. We actually read from the business text South Africa and how things work. But have you actually seen how the bill was written to the U.S. Congress? Well, we don't know, right? Fine. That's why I'm here. I'm here to actually let us dive inside what it was actually in the bill. Then we got to know what is happening. But before that, well, see this. Let's go. Okay, this one came and says, save yourself the trouble. Just cut all ties and see whether we care. We have faced far worse under white oppression, and we have built a tenant city beyond your comprehension. Okay, that is a South African though. That is South African. That's what he's saying though. Again, this one says the days of the ANC are numbered. Wow. Now, this one also says South Africa values its sovereignty and will maintain mutually respectful relations with all nations, including the United States. We are confident in our ability to adapt to evolving global dynamics. No more kissing white man's yeah. South Africa is a sovereign country and will maintain mutually respectful to all nations, including the USA. But we are no more going to do that again. Nah. But South Africa is not going to belittle itself for a white man again. That is his point. This one says it will end the introduction. Wow, now this one says it's just an introduction to the Congress. It will end there. It won't go anywhere. That is what the South African is saying. But wow, today's main topic is we're actually going to dive inside and see what is actually in the bill. Well, this is the link to the bill here. As you can see, as man shared the links to the bill. So let's see what is actually inside the bill. So now, this is it. So it says Ronny Jackson, Congressman for Texas 13. Press releases. So it says Rep. Jackson introduces bill to hold South Africa accountable for supporting American adversaries. Washington, April 3rd, 2025. Let's go. So today's Congressman Ronny Jackson, Texas 13, introduced the U.S. South Africa Bilateral Relations Review Act of 2025, which would mandate a full review of the bilateral relations between the United States and South Africa and help advance President Trump's foreign policy agenda by giving him the tools necessary to impose sanctions on corrupt South African government officials who choose to support America's adversaries like China, Russia, and Iran. Representative John James MI20 is co-leading this allegation. Okay, so not only Congressman Ronny Jackson, he also has John James from Miami 10 also co-leading him with this case. So they are actually pushing this bill to help the U.S. Trump administration to actually get grounds to sanction South Africa's officials and leaders for actually aiding or siding with U.S. adversaries. That is what they believe, though. Believed by the U.S. in quotes. Now, let's see this. So in quotes, it says South Africa has basically abandoned its relationship with the United States to align with China, Russia, Iran, and terrorist organizations. A betrayal that demands serious consequences, said Rep. Ronny Jackson. This legislation ensures we conduct a comprehensive review of this supposed ally while we also holding accountable any corrupt officials. The era of governments undermining American interests without repercussions is now. Wow. That is a bold step or bold take here. He said the era of governments undermine American interests without repercussions is now. So now they are saying that if you actually poke the bear, you actually get what you want. So they're saying every country that's allied with America should actually adhere to their side of the deals or relationship. If you don't, you're now going to find it the hard way. Is that a threat to South Africa? Well, now let's see. So in it says, I'm proud to co-lead the update U.S. South Africa Bilateral Relations Review Act of 2025 with Congressman Ronny Jackson, said Rep. John James from the M10. This bill builds on and strengthens my bipartisan legislation from the last Congress, which successfully passed the House and supports President Trump's executive order from February 7th addressing a rigorous action of the Republic of South Africa. The South African government and the ANC have continued to consistently undermine U.S. national security interests in recent years, have intentionally aligned with Beijing, Moscow, and Tehran, and pursued an anti-Israel agenda. The United States must examine all of our bilateral relationships around the world and investigate all options to hold those countries and leaders who align with our adversaries responsible. Wow. So that is also John James, M10 rep, that is Miami rep to Congress, also saying that he's actually cool leading with Jackson concerning this whole issue, and he believed that South Africa, it's all issues that South Africa is actually siding with Iran, Moscow, and then Beijing, China, and then actually sending Israel to the world courts concerning the genocide happening in Palestine. Wow. So why is this going so far like that? Well, so that is what is inside the bill they are actually sharing, though. You have got to know what is happening. So my South African, what's your take about this one? Other people actually share their takes. It's just your turn to let me know what's happening with you. Okay, the name is Vidashi. Thank you for your time.